I might have to merge the video, but I will pick up the recording. Now, quick add-on. As it relates to your assets and your liabilities, once you've done this, and I meant to say this sooner, but I just looked down at my notes and I put an asterisk by this because I didn't want to forget this. In addition to putting together your assets and your liabilities, understanding your calculations and where you sit, whether negative, break even, positive, regardless, don't worry about that. I also want you to include, and this is just be you writing it in because it's not a slot for it, but it is an asset once you understand how to use it, and there may be a further conversation. But put down your credit score as well, because your credit is also an asset. Now, it can be performing as a liability due to the fact that it might be less than what it needs to be, so it's costing you more on interest, costing you, more on certain bills, utilities, just because of your credit. It's costing you from getting a increase or getting a promotion at your job because they look at all of that. I was talking to my brother. He works for, the state basically, and they look at all of that. Do you owe in taxes? What is your credit score like? So understanding that is understanding that your credit score is also an asset, but it might be performing as a liability. So put that in the right there. If you print this out, write down your credit score, all three bureaus. I need Experian, Equifax, TransUnion, write them all. And when you share that with me, we can discuss things that you can do yourself. Of course, I own a credit restoration company. So if you want assistance on it and you want me to do it or us to do it on your behalf, that's a whole nother conversation. But write your credit score down because that's a part of your asset column, because credit can be leveraged and used for so many different things. And if you do things appropriately, it can even benefit you from a net worth standpoint if you're buying your first home. Because so many people buy their first home the wrong way because it just looks so good to see that, you got the keys to your new home and the realtor sold you this home that you can afford. And most of the time people maxed out their budget, maxed out what they had available. But if you go about it the right way, your credit can position you to set the terms on the home that you buy. You might buy with a little equity. You might buy it and it has some equity built into it. So you pay less than what it was worth from the beginning. That's a whole nother conversation. But many people buy their homes like they buy their cars. Soon as they pull out the lot after they bought their car, it's worth less than what the sticker price said, but they're paying that loan, they're paying that auto loan off for 5, 6, 7 years, and it's worth less as soon as they pull it off the lot. That's how many people buy their home. It's worth less than what they pay for it, and it has no equity. But if you got your credit intact, it's a couple of things that might be able to benefit you in getting your first home appropriately. So write that credit score down in addition to everything, outside of this, because it's also an asset as well. So you put your credit score in your asset column and then build it from there. All right, any questions? I went on a tangent a little bit, but it had to be said. Any other questions? Questions, comments? So we got a couple people still sticking around. I know if it's over a dozen people on, somebody has a question, a comment, or something. And I'm gonna stop the recording one last time.